how did I get rich?
Mhm.
I know that sounds crazy, but I was like, how did I get money? And I was like, well, I got money because I did email marketing. So I started a newsletter
Mhm.
and I just kept emailing things in the newsletter that I thought were good deals, and people joined the newsletter because I did ads, and then people bought it. And so then it kind of clicked on me two things. One, there's no great ideas.
Mhm.
What most people miss is that all the ideas are, it's not about that. It's actually, can you find customers? That's actually, at the end of the day, the most important thing. So customer first, business idea second. And then what that led me to think, for everyone out there, anyone watching on Instagram, on YouTube, literally you can start a business this immediate moment on YouTube for free. You don't have to pay anything. You take your phone and every day you just post a video about wine or about lenses or about mugs or about stands to hold lights. This is my light stand, right?
That's
Um, and so, or clocks. I'm really into timers. So this is my timer. Anyways, you just post a video every single day for 30 days. Guess what? You might even get some ad revenue eventually on something like that. Um, but I think the thing that I realized about YouTube or a newsletter, so you can use sendfox.com and I start a free newsletter. And anyone could do it. There's no limitation and there's no limit to the upside. There is no limit to how much you can do
I
and
totally
how much you
agree
can
with
make.
that. I literally agree. With Instagram, it's the same thing. I coach so many people on this area. I put, thousands of people through my course. And the whole
Awesome.
thing about growing your business is you do not need anything other than opening a social media platform. So you can do it,
Oh, crazy.
you can do Instagram, you can do both if you want to do it the better
I,
way.
I don't know if I do both, but
No,
yes.
you see, I just do Instagram at the
I think
moment,
that's great.
and then you do YouTube as well as Instagram. But the whole thing, you can grow the same way that I grew a million followers and $1 million. It's all revenue. The bigger you get is the more money that you make. And then it just
Totally.
evolves. Any business that you have, you just stick it on Instagram. You literally just stick it on there and
It
start
sounds true.
selling. But you've got to build your brand first, and that is building a platform. You can't just stick the brand on day one and start selling. You have to be clever. And here's a massive tip for anyone that,
Yeah, hit it.
you probably know this one, right? When you are putting your content up, the question to ask is, are you helping your audience to make more money in their life, or to better themselves, or to better their health, to better something in their life? And if the answer is yes, your value is higher than the product that you are offering. Therefore, by the time you come to inject your product into this platform, they are going to want to buy, right? You're going to start processing, you're going to start adding beautiful content that the mass market would like, not just your product. Because look, okay, if I post, and I'm not being sponsored by these guys right now,
Not yet.
right? Okay, probably after this. Okay, I got this Evian bottle, and I'm like, woo, I'm selling this. I love it. Imagine I was doing it, and I love it, right? That's gonna get some likes, but let's just say I put a beautiful picture up of water itself or something really dreamy that is still in the niche of the product that I'm going to sell. The mass market is probably going to really like what I've put up. Therefore, they are going to want to get in touch with my page. They're going to follow my page. And then by the time I come to sell my product, because I keep putting up all this generic content daily, they're going to be so involved that they're, okay, yeah, I'm going to want to buy. And all of a sudden, you've got a new client.
I think what's interesting about, oh, I'm hearing feedback. Two things I've observed recently that have been really game changing for me, especially with starting businesses and things like that. Or I'll tell you a few different things. But number one is that I call it the 10-year rule. And so it's taken me 10 years to make $1 million. And now I'm making at least a few $1 million a year in income, not in like fake revenue or anything like that. But I think the point that I'm trying to encourage people is that it's going to take time, whatever you want to work on. So start it today, right now, this moment, like stop and pause and go do it this instant,
Okay.
because
Right
it
now.
will take 10 years. The second thing, I think, Natasha, you said it really well, is that if you want to go on Instagram, for me, I've been focusing on YouTube because I feel like the amount of audience I can reach relative to the amount of effort is the best for me. I've done podcasts, I've done Instagram, I've done LinkedIn, I've tried them all for me. And I find that YouTube is the best for it. But one thing that's actually been the most interesting around building an audience is one by one. I call it hand-to-hand marketing or hand-to-hand combat. And I think I wanted 1 million followers. And I don't like the word followers personally. I call them homies or like friends or just people that are interested in what I'm sharing. I think followers just sound so fucking weird. But what I realized though is like, all right, I'm gonna put out a video, or people out there, I'm gonna put out a video. It's gonna get 1 million followers. I'm gonna be fucking famous, and then I'm gonna get rich. And as I said earlier, just because you have 1 million followers, a lot of these people that have millions of followers are poor. They're very poor. And the thing that's interesting for me recently is that if I want 1 million followers, all I have to do is one thing. I just have to help 1 million people. And so lately, since I've been called to help people start companies, all I do now, not all I do, but as one of the main things we do is when we put out videos, I respond. We and me and myself and the team, we respond to every single person. So I think for people out there, especially if you're just getting started, or if you're at the larger size, like come back and help people get results. Come back and talk to them individually. Come back and actually connect with them. Because one, it's the most fucking satisfying thing I do, but that is the actual way you can build any size of following. The other thing I just want to do one kind of circle back on is that if people are wanting to get to $1 million in income or net worth or 10 million or beyond, what's been fascinating in starting businesses and helping thousands of people do it is fear. Everyone is fucking afraid. Everyone is afraid. And as you get to new levels, it's just a new level of fear. And so the thing I would encourage everyone to do is two things. Number one, do the coffee challenge, which is go and ask for 10% off next time you buy anything. And they'll say, well, why? You say, just cause. Or tell them Noah made you do it. You're going to get rejected. You're going to get rejected. And you're going to move forward. And you'll be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And that is literally the basis of business. Business, at the end of the day, is an ask. It's like, I want money in exchange for this. I want a follower in exchange for that. And for people out there that are like, that's too scary for me, let's just do the Natasha challenge. So here's what I would say the Natasha challenge would be, if I may.
Yeah, let's do this. What's the
Okay, so the Natasha challenge is that, and the reason I'm telling you guys about fear is that the majority of people haven't started businesses or their side hustles or done it is they're afraid. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of their friends. They're afraid of it not working, all this stuff. So the Natasha challenge is if you are watching this right now, pause the video, make your own video putting yourself out there on Instagram. If you're watching this on Instagram, go on Instagram right now and post a thing saying, hey, I watched this on Natasha. Here's what I'm afraid of right now, and here's what I hope to be by the end of the year. Here's where I want to be by the end of the year.
Yes, I'm loving this.
And what's going to happen is a lot of people are like, nah, I'm not scared of that. Well, if you're not scared, do it. Oh, that's easy. Do it. Hey, I'm afraid of it. Do it. And once you start putting yourself out there, one, no one cares. Two, the people that actually do care will start responding to you, and it'll feel fucking good. And three, that's where the 10-year rule, it starts now. So in 10 years, at least you're where you want to be, or if not, significantly further ahead.
Love it. That's an amazing challenge. Well, guys, if you go out there and do that right now, make sure that you tag at Noah and at Natasha. You know our tags. They're right here. So just tag us.
I'd love to see it. I want to see thousands.
Put it in your stories. Tag us on it because I will definitely be reposting my faves on there as I do with so many of my reposting people that put in that effort. It means so much. But for you, invest in yourself today. God, we've given some wisdom today, Noah.
I like it. Well, one thing, can I ask you questions?
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So how have you transitioned from a following into a business? And then I guess how have you professionalized it?
So basically, I didn't know where I was going years ago. Okay. I was just actually the quick brief of what happened. I was really ill. I was unwell. Okay. And after I had my baby, so it was nearly 4 years ago now, and I was lost at the lowest point in my life. I had to move back in with my mom. I got a divorce. It was the worst time of my life. I was so low. And to think who I am today and how far I have come from that moment is monumental. And that is why I want to help others. That's why I did my book, The Action Plan, giving people practical methods to implement the same way that I did, tools to success, health, wealth, and happiness today, teaching them how to. Action plans, literally the title of it is so apt. It will change your life. There's no one that has yet read it who has said, yeah, it didn't do anything for me. Like they've all resonated with it. It's a quick read. It's only 1 hour. Like you can bounce through it. So I had a real shite time. I was in the lowest point of my life. I was ill. I felt mentally gone. Like, I've been through all of it, and I decided I've got to change my life. And so I wrote a plan for it. I said, right, I'm going to speak and help people in the world. I am going to actually get out there and help people in the world. I'm going to lift them up and guide them. But first, I've got to heal myself. I've got to get myself out of this place. So I didn't just want to bounce back and become a normal human. I wanted to literally take my life to the next level. I wanted to take it further than just coming back and being healthy. And so I opened this Instagram. I studied Instagram for 3 years up until this point anyway. I was learning about Instagram. And then to this day, it's been like about 6 years now, 5, 6 years, where I've been studying and learning Instagram. Hence, I put out these courses and I guide people on how to put their brand and go global online through Instagram and things like that, and social media. So I basically decided, right, I'm going to use my Instagram platform, and I'm going to build it as just a sort of a me page, a generic page. So I put generic content up, content of me. And then I decided after all that time to then, I had written the book, I would inject the brand. I already have businesses going on. So I grew them, used my platform to sell. And then I just started connecting with other thought leaders and just helping people and guiding, and the calling got bigger, and I got invited on more shows and got invited on more talks, and it evolved and evolved and evolved. The books, like, it came out during COVID, which was amazing. And just, that's how it all started for me. And now the same way that I healed myself from an illness, from the lowest point in my life when I thought everything was against me, nothing was going to ever go right for me again, I was able to drag myself from that, draw out the positive in such a negative situation. And now I can show others how to heal themselves. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm going to touch you and you're going to get healed. That's beautiful. And I love Reiki and I love all kinds of healing. But I show the world how, through the same methods that I did. And, there's references to certain practices, which I believe in as well. Combined, my contribution to the world is the same way that I healed myself. And I love to help others heal themselves.
So, my mom and I were talking. She doesn't think everyone can do it. What do you think? I'm curious. Like, do you think? I was like, Mom, I want everyone to be able to be an entrepreneur and start businesses, and more just have the jobs they want. I think that's what really gives me fulfillment. I love when people are creating things or doing the work they really want. That like really fires me up. So I guess, do you think that everyone can do this Instagram thing like that you've been able to do?
Can I be honest? Yeah, absolutely anyone. There is no age lock. There is no gridlock. There is nothing, no limitations with anything in your life, period, let alone Instagram. There is absolutely no age lock on it. There is no a cap for anything. If any age, any brand, any person, any race, any gender, anything, whoever you are, you can do it, because Instagram is so open and there is a market for everyone. So people always expect my audience, where they haven't seen the evolving thing, to still be maybe a younger generation. Now, yes, I'm a thought leader to the new generation and to everyone, but I ultimately don't have an age of particular audience. People are like, what would your age bracket be of audience? Actually, I don't. It's kind of even the whole way, which is amazing. So anyone can do it. You can just literally find your niche, find your brand, stick it on Instagram, and then go for it. As long as you know the business skills of how to grow it, then, like what you're saying, things like you teach, things like I teach, if you know all of this stuff, then you're going to be able to evolve. Anyone can do it. There is no, people, I've got clients who are, they've got major, monumental 9, 10-figure companies. And they're like, I need to go on Instagram. I'm like, And somebody in their team will join my mentorship, and then they'll learn. And they're like, wow, I cannot believe how much I've missed out on. They're like, I'm mind blown by it. And then they're a bit, I want to be in the background. I don't want to be on the front. So we don't put them on the front, but you don't have to be on the front. You can sit in the back. You can still be private, but Instagram does help. There is no escape from it in today's world. We are living in a digital era. It's where the world is going. Social media.
We're having a conversation with my buddy Neville from copywritingcourse.com. And it was an interesting thought. In the future, the president will be a YouTuber. It will be someone who's gotten famous on maybe Instagram or maybe
Oh,
YouTube.
that is such an amazing point.
Think about how fucking, and one, that doesn't sound unbelievable, which is the crazy
Legit,
part.
that is so what's going to happen. The way we are going, the way that the world is, you're right. You reckon you want to be up for president?
No, that shit sucks. I think business makes more impact. I think politicians are fucking useless. Um, I think the one thing I was wondering though, I'm like, all right, so I follow the process. I get a little bit of a following on Instagram. Like, how do I actually make money on it though? That way, because I think where I've taught people and what I've pushed people is like validate that you can get customers immediately, and then figure out how to scale and do a lot of the marketing. Where I think a lot, like part of what it sounded like, which I'm curious how you approach it, is get the audience, and then you can do ways to monetize it. So I'm curious how you think about that.
Well, you monetize once you already have an audience. So you can monetize either from having a big following and growing your following and then getting paid by brands to promote their brand on your page, or you can go the other way where you grow your platform and people start to love what you're putting out there. So then you can post anything that you decide to sell and people will be there to buy. So you kind of
Okay.
have two angles you can do. Did that answer your question?
Well, I think where I'm hesitant and encouraging people to do the Instagram straight up approach is two things, and that's why I like email marketing a lot. That's why I've built 8-figure business app sumo.com on that,
And
and the
I
team
think
is
that's a cool app, by the way.
yeah, appsumo.com is amazing for anyone starting or growing a business. It's the number one site online for software. Um, I think where I've liked email is that I have control. Like I know on my Instagram, I post something and a few thousand people see it, 2,000, 100,000, I don't know. It doesn't feel as controllable. And the second thing on Instagram sometimes is that I've seen accounts that have a lot of people, the same as YouTube. Like they have a lot of followers, but I'm like, I don't know if they're actually making a lot of money. And so that's why I've tried to encourage people, especially early on. And I think what you said, which is a really great point, is like there's no limit. So like if you're old, do the old person show. If you're into fishing, do the fishing show. If you're into cups, do the cup show or lenses. There's room for everyone. And I think the world, everyone, I would assume, would think that this is going to even get bigger.
Mhm.
And I think my only encouragement for people is try to figure out where the business model is, like where the actual profit is a little bit early. For me, this is just my style.
Uh-huh.
There's many ways of cooking the same dish.
Mhm.
And so my dish is just more I want to make sure it's profitable, so if I want to invest more in it, that the confidence is higher that it will get to a larger size.
I love that. But you can ultimately with this, and this is my final point, which I'm going to just give out there. And so write this one down. Think about
All right, ready?
one person. Think about one person, the needs of one person. What did they want? What did they like? When you are putting your brand, your business out there, particularly on social media. So you can play games with them, you can interact with them. Type yes if you like this product. Do that on your story. Play with them, interact, get to know them, like you were saying, Noah, just now. That is so important because then all you need is one form of validation. What product would serve this person? Think about how you can scale that up, that product. How can you scale up? And then boom, you scaled up.
One by one, baby. I love
Literally,
it.
that's it. That's it.